Hello, my dear community, welcome back to Secrets Behind the Stars. It's always a joy to have you here with me, especially when the topic touches a couple who changed the way many of us see romance on and off the screen. If you're new, consider this your invitation to settle in, subscribe, and get comfortable, because today we're diving into the mystery behind a gift that had the entire fandom buzzing. We're talking about King Yaman and Demet Özdemir, and the personal present he gave her that, according to whispers and leaks, melted every heart that heard about it. Let's tell the truth the way you like it. The spark between these two didn't begin on a red carpet or in a magazine spread. It was born under the bright lights of the set of Turkishseries, where the story of Handmade and Handmade turned into a phenomenon. From the first scene, viewers sensed something electric pulsing beneath the dialogue, a line of feeling running from one look to the next. It was so palpable that when filming stopped, fans kept replaying those scenes just to relive whatever that something was. And you know how it goes. When chemistry is that strong on screen, speculation in real life becomes impossible to silence. The rumors swelled, fueled by half-smiles in interviews and photos where body language said more than formal answers ever could. And right when curiosity reached a fever pitch, a story surfaced. King had given Demet a gift. Not just any present, not a typical famous actor surprise calculated for headlines, but something intimate and crafted, something that felt like a whisper only the two of them could fully understand. People close to production spoke of it in hushed tones, as if they were guarding a secret they couldn't help but share. Now, let's be clear. If King wanted to dazzle with extravagance, he certainly could have. We all know a sports car or a diamond choker would only require a phone call. But the version that spread online said this wasn't about price tags. The gift was not a luxury item, it was built from time and intention. It was, and this is what made the internet lose its mind, something he made himself. Picture it. A man known for his magnetism and star power choosing to spend his free hours crafting a token of affection when sleep would have been easier. That choice alone changes everything. Imagine the set days during Turkishseries. Early call times, the relentless rhythm of location changes, the weight of audience expectations. Yet somewhere in between camera setups and script rehearsals, King was reportedly piecing together a surprise for Demet. Not a production prop, not a brand deal, but a thing with edges only his hands could have shaped. It's the kind of gesture that strips away the noise and leaves only the message a heart can read. So what was it? The guesses came fast. Some swore it was a handwritten letter, the kind that breathes because ink presses into paper as thoughts press into silence. Others were sure it was musical, a melody composed after midnight, a simple tune meant to carry a little bit of the man behind the image. There were even romantic theories that he tried something artistic, a sketch, a small sculpture, a crafted box designed to hold a memory. But the detail that kept resurfacing, the thread tying all the versions together, was that it came with a message different from the usual lines of affection. Not a polite, I love you, not a standard, happy birthday, but a confession that bared the core of what they shared. People talked about how he described the journey they took from the first table read to the last take, how he admired her courage, her precision with emotion, her luminous presence that did not dim even when the hours dragged on. They said he thanked her for the way she listened and the way she gave. Not just in scenes, but in the spaces between them, when exhaustion turns co-stars into allies. He supposedly wrote about dreams they once laughed over between takes, dreams that seemed impossible until fame made the world tilt toward them. And in those words, there was room for everything, the pressure, the misunderstandings, the laughter that saved the hard days. When that story hit social media, the effect was immediate. Threads appeared within minutes. Clips of Handmade and Handmade were posted alongside theories, and every frame felt like a clue. Suddenly, the internet wasn't just watching a celebrity romance, it was watching a love language unfold in real time. The image of King as a leading man with a soft, deliberate center took root. The image of Demet as a woman who inspires acts of care grew brighter. Fans who had followed them from episode 1 to the final bow wrote messages like people do when they recognize a truth. Something real beating beneath all the glitter. The most persistent version of the story suggested that the gift was a photo album, handmade and quietly exquisite, filled with snapshots no studio had sanctioned. Not glossy publicity stills, but the kind of moments that slip between official timelines, a shared coffee before dawn, a script sprawled open on a lap, a laugh captured in motion rather than posed perfection. Rumor had it he tucked notes between the pages, brief lines that said, "This was the day you made the scene work by believing in me," or "This was the afternoon we realized we'd crossed a line between fiction and something we couldn't name." If you believe the whispers, he included ticket stubs, pressed flowers rescued from bouquets left to wilt in dressing rooms, even a tiny corner of a call sheet with a circle around a day that meant everything for reasons known only to them. Think about the context. 2 actors carrying a show that became a phenomenon. 2 people who couldn't go to lunch without someone filming from across the street. A gesture like that, quiet and handmade, becomes its own sanctuary. It tells a different story, that the ones you choose, the ones who meet you where you are when cameras cut and the crowd goes home, are the ones worth celebrating. In a world where grand gestures often disguise emptiness, a small, deliberate offering can shake the ground beneath a million screens. Of course, the entertainment world thrives on mystery. Details blur. One person's memory becomes another's headline. Yet even with the haze, what people felt was unmistakable. The gift, whatever its exact form, seemed to mark a turning point. It suggested a level of knowing that goes beyond flowers and dinners. It implied, "I see who you are, and here is proof that I have been paying attention." For a public devouring 1,000 stories at once, that intimacy read like a beacon. The aftermath was extraordinary. Fans rallied around the idea not because they crave voyeurism, but because most people want to believe that effort still means something, that thoughtfulness still wins. The posts celebrating Demet's response were just as emotional. They said her eyes softened when she spoke about kindness, that she valued the kind of gestures money can't buy. Whether or not we ever see the actual gift, the effect on the audience was beyond measurable. It reached the corners of the internet where cynicism usually lives and asked it to be quiet for a minute. There's a lesson here, one that transcends the famous names. Time and intention carry a power that no receipt can match. The most enduring gestures are those that rearrange a day, not a bank account. Can, by reportedly building something with his own hands, told a story about what love looks like when the cameras stop. Demet, by receiving it with what people describe as unguarded gratitude, told a story about what it means to be seen and to answer that seeing with grace. And for the audience, this became more than a moment, it became a symbol. The album rumor wound its way through fan pages and news feeds, and somehow, even those who had no stake in the outcome felt steadied by it. It said that relationships born under bright lights can still grow roots in the dark where seeds belong. It said that a couple shaped by choreography can still choose unscripted tenderness. It invited the world back to believing in secrets shared quietly between 2 people who had every reason to let spectacle speak for them but chose instead to speak softly. I know many of you have your own theories. Was it a letter sealed with a scent only she would recognize? Was it a melody that carried the rhythm of a heartbeat pressed against a late-night window? Was it a crafted box with a small metal clasp, polished by hands that had memorized every inch of its surface? While certainty remains elusive, one thing stands firm: the story captured us because it reminded us that love, to mean something, must cost time. The rumor of a message filled with deep feeling tightened the world for a second into a warm, luminous room where 2 people could sit with their truth and let it be enough. And so we circle back to why everyone was enchanted. Can showed that a leading man can lead with tenderness, that strength and gentleness are not opposites but partners. Demet showed that a woman with a fierce career and a fearless heart can still be moved by simplicity, that the value of a gift lies in the soul invested in it. Together, in this whispered exchange, they gave their audience the closest thing to a modern fairy tale the industry can offer, not because everything is perfect, but because what's real can still win the day. Before we wrap, tell me what you think. Did the gift exist the way it's been described, or did it exist in a form only they know, transformed by the retellings of those who wanted it to be true? If you had to guess, was it an album tucked with scraps of time? A handwritten confession? A fragment of music carried from one quiet room to another? I want to hear your theories. You know the drill, drop your thoughts below. and let's have the conversation that keeps this community alive. If this story made you smile, if it nudged your heart even a little, don't leave without showing love to Secrets Behind the Stars. Like the video, share it with that friend who still replays their favorite scenes, and make sure you're subscribed with notifications on so you never miss a moment like this. We'll keep bringing you the tales that matter, the ones shaped by feeling and held together by the kind of wonder that keeps us all watching. For now, we leave Yaman and Demet Özdemir exactly where they belong, somewhere between the lines of a script and the pages of a handmade gift, reminding us that the most unforgettable moments are often the ones no one was meant to see. Until next time, thank you for watching, thank you for believing, and thank you for being the heartbeat of this channel. I'll see you soon with more stories from the world where art and love keep finding each other, again and again.